Alright, I'm excited for this review, and I'm excited to take this test ride because we got a flash ECU from Moore Mafia in this ZX10. Time to rip it. It's like another level. Oh my goodness. It is on another level of performance, man. This thing's wild. I'm going to give you a cold start because this is a full M4 exhaust system, and you can notice right away, just from a start, that this thing is running so much better. It is loud. This still does have a baffle in it. Even with the baffle in there, it is loud. With the baffle taking out, supposedly, that is close to like 12 horsepower gains on the ZX10, or from M4 exhaust. You can see some pretty good horsepower gains. While it warms up, I'm going to skip to some other footage of what you need to know and what you need to do after you get your ECU installed after you've had a flash done. So let's check that out. But I wanted to show you the first thing you do when you get your ECU flash. Nothing really works. So I wanted to make sure you know that's really normal. So I'm going to show you what's going on, and then we're going to try and clear the codes with something that you can purchase yourself so that you don't have to put some miles on it before everything starts working. Moore Mafia does supply you a really nice little letter, lets you know that you need to do, I think it was 3 trips of at least 25 miles each before everything kind of resets itself and the ECU gets back to normal. This is what you're going to be seeing on your dash. Everything's flashing. You always have a check engine light on. I can't go through the modes or anything right now. Like I said, that is really normal. Happens on everything when you flash the ECU. And you can either go to the dealer to get the codes cleared, or something you can purchase for yourself is this little guy. How you use it? Very simple. I'm gonna pop the rear seat off. Pull your red plug out here. Usually tucked on this bike, at least on that side. All right, so we're gonna turn the bike on. Flashing green is good. At least that means it's trying to communicate with it. Red's not good though. Red's not good. Why are you red? If it goes to solid green like that, everything should be cleared. And I do see that the dash is no longer flashing. Awesome. All right, so we're gonna cycle through, unplug this, make sure we're good to go. I can scroll through my menu again. Awesome. Okay, looks like we're good to go. After getting the ECU flash, there's some big noticeable changes, not just with power, but the way the bike sounds, the way the quick shifter's working is a lot better. And you can hear that, like, look, even at, okay, we're going really slow right now, but now is the perfect time to show you. We're low speeds because this person's a grandma, low RPMs. I can go through the gears and it is super smooth. Super smooth. Was not this smooth from the factory, which is really surprising because the new generation ZX6 comes with a quick shifter, and that was butter smooth from the factory in low RPMs and low speeds, but the ZX10 was not. So that is a huge change. Really cool to be able to smooth that out in the ECU flash. So that's one of the big noticeable changes, aside from obviously power gains, which we're going to get into in a little bit. You can just hear the change in the throttle response. Do you hear that? That sudden gasp of air from the intake. I don't know if it gets picked up on camera very well. In person, you can definitely hear the intake vault opening up all the way when you go to full throttle. The reason why I wanted to take you on a back road first is to show the bike has not, sometimes when you flash a bike, tune a bike, it has not lost its smoothness. It's still really smooth. The throttle response is not twitchy at all, and it rides just like it did from the factory. So that's really nice to see. But this tune is not without its faults. This is coming out of here in 4th gear. We're not even going to try. Getting some pops, some bangs. We did not opt for the pop and bang tune on this. That's a beautiful Ferrari right there. That is gorgeous. Hey, we're out of gas. How are we out of gas this fast? So now is the time, I guess I will talk to you about the shortcomings of this tune, which is not really tune related, it's just kind of the nature of the beast basically. So one shortcoming is the fact that you will see we're averaging 20 miles to the gallon. That's basically diesel truck territory. That's pretty bad. That's really bad. And any type of tune you get, power commander, it's just anything, you're gonna get pretty bad gas mileage, but that's really bad. 20 miles is really low. So that's something to keep in mind when you get your ECU flash. Doesn't matter who you go with, it's always gonna be bad and worse, obviously, because you're putting more fuel in the cylinders to get more power, which is what we want. The other thing is right here, all right? Because downshifting and auto blipping was perfect on this bike from the factory, but when you make that change, sometimes it's smooth, but sometimes it's not. See that? That's not me doing anything. That jump is just from using the auto blipper now without the clutch. Really, that's the only downside to this tune thus far. I did talk to Moore Mafia about that, and I was like, hey, this is the issue that I'm experiencing. I tried some different settings. I thought maybe it could be something that could be ironed out. He relayed that it was due to the fuel cut change that was made and that we opted for, and he did graciously was like, just send it back and we'll redo it and we'll put it back to the factory setting, that portion of it back to the factory setting, which I would expect to pay shipping for, but he didn't charge us shipping, so that was really nice. But I would expect to pay some sort of shipping for that in the future. So don't if he asks for, sends you an invoice for shipping, you know, that's standard, that's fair in my opinion. I'm gonna send it back and get that change made. I'll try and showcase it again a little bit better, especially under hard braking. When you're braking really hard into a corner, it's even worse. I haven't really like played with it that much in this video because I rode it yesterday after making some changes, and I was like, nope, still kind of doing it. See that? See that? It moves quite a bit, which for some people That's a little unnerving going into a corner. Now, if you pull in the clutch and you use the clutch normally, it still auto blips for you. So that time I was able to show you. Going into a corner though with the clutch pulled in, the auto blipper still does blip you. So like, you know, you can still, it still auto blips, but you still do have to use the clutch. And it is very smooth still at that point when you're pulling in the clutch. It's just when you don't pull in the clutch and use the auto blipper as you would normally use an auto blipper, it's just not smooth. But if you want to go down 2 gears, it doesn't register the second blip. So I'm in it, I want to go down 2, it blips it once, and then that's it. So versus if you do the auto blipper every time you go down a gear, it's gonna make that jump. It's gonna blip the throttle every time. So that's also kind of one downside with that that part of the tune again. Oh, so much traffic. Alright, well, that pretty much wraps up the first part of this flash. We're going to take the ECU out and we're going to send it back because I think the customer wants that change done. And then I'll jump on it again and we'll see how it feels.
Round 2, fight!
Sounds good going through there. A little bit. I've noticed a little bit of a difference with that fuel cut being changed, but it's very minor. It really is. And it really is only between like 6,000 and 9,000 RPMs. You notice it kind of, I wouldn't even say it's twitchy, you just notice the decel. You just notice the engine braking at that point. You can see how smooth that is now. So yeah, it's back to like it was with the factory. Okay, so that is basically my initial thoughts and impressions on the ZX10R ECU flash from Moore Mafia. Thing was pretty amazing. Definitely a huge change and something that if you own this generation ZX10, you need to get the ECU flashed. Whether you get it with Moore Mafia or somebody else, but you just need to get it flashed. It was a huge change from stock. It was also just super noticeable in so many areas with the throttle response, obviously power gains, the quick shifter being significantly smoother than it was from factory. So just really nice changes. Also really fast. He was responsive. Even when we had the issue and I didn't really like it, we sent it back. Also quick with turnaround times with that and didn't charge us, which is super cool. Also, while we're talking about those issues that we experienced with the Tune and having to send it back, that's not even something that he offers on his website anymore, to have the fuel cut option changed in the flash for I think all of the bikes, not just the ZX10. So I think other people experienced those issues as well, and weren't quite happy with it. So if you are looking at other tuners that do have that option still available, you might want to think twice about getting that done with the ZX10, because it just doesn't, it's not smooth really at that point. And the auto blipper is really fun. Like, you want to be able to use the auto blipper. You paid a lot of money to have that. You want to be able to use it the way that it comes from the factory. So really what it boils down to is these tuners need to be spending a lot of time, which is why dyno tunings are getting so like significantly more expensive. They spend a lot of time in the tables adjusting your throttle response and the percentage. The tables in there that he talks about in some of his videos, that's where all the changes are being made to smooth out your throttle transition from on and off. So the decel was noticeable after the second change, but the throttle response when you're coming back into the throttle, it was still smooth. It was not jumpy or abrupt like I've experienced with older bikes in the past. So that was really cool to see. I was afraid that it was going to be too big of a change and that it was eventually going to be basically jumpy and twitchy and like a little bit more challenging to ride, but it just wasn't. The quick shifter was super smooth. The power delivery was great. Overall, really great tune. Really satisfied with it. That wraps up this video. Thank you for watching. Get subscribed, give us a like, send it to your friends. We greatly appreciate it. Also, while you're down there, check out our website. We sell gear, helmets, jackets, gloves, even casual apparel like the t-shirt that I'm wearing today. All kinds of stuff on that website. Check that out down below, and we'll see you guys in the next video.